Oh. Yeah, I can see I'm live on your feed, but I don't hear nothing from you. I don't see you.
How about now?
There
it is. All right, so can you see me on my channel?
Yep. Hey, your
Okay,
channel's
so
live. I just walked away from the PC seeing you.
okay, so you have to go through fuck is this program called? God damn it. The stream, you have to go through the stream app.
StreamYard.
Yeah, you got to go through StreamYard. You do live, you like go into like start a broadcast and it'll give you options and you, damn, I just did it, bro.
Look how old I am. All of y'all that was like, what does hate look like? I'm old.
Nah, bro, you distinguished. It's all good.
Yeah, asshole. Look at that. I probably should have shaved, no? Oh well.
Man, I gotta clean up, man, because it's really scraggly now. But it's no shave November, so you know how we do it.
Man, buddy, you know, I'm from the '90s, so I grew up with these short, these short little linings. That's what was cool back then. Right?
Oh, I had just a little goatee because I used to work in security, private security, so you couldn't keep a lot. So I kept a goatee, but after that I started growing the beard, and I went into the hospital, bro. When I went into the ICU, I passed out. I woke up, everything was gone. I had a little 80s mustache left. And the nurse, and I had cuts all over. And the nurse was like, I'm sorry, but that's what we had to do. I was like, are you serious? You know how long it took me to grow my beard? But
I'm outside. Want to see my pond?
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
Yeah. Nice.
You way over there?
Yeah.
Koi
Nice.
fish.
It looks nice out there, bro. What's the weather out there?
Today it's actually not bad. It's actually colder in my garage because it's still got the night air in it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's cold as shit over here, bro. It's only 39 degrees. I mean, and that's actually warm for Chicago, bro.
Yeah, I think like the cold. We don't get very cold here. The problem is the humidity here.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
what sucks.
Yeah.
It's always. I mean, in the summer when it's hot, it's like somebody's peeing on you because it just settles on you, man. It's not sweat. So that's what I'm making this table. That's what I was doing.
Yeah. I got oh man, I got a ton of projects I gotta finish, bro. It's getting a little bit overwhelming now, and I keep adding more projects to the list, and I see something I want, and I got to that point, I think, where I used to wait, whatever, I'll wait and wait. I'll get it whenever I get the chance. But now I'm like, you know what? With the way things are going with miniatures and gaming companies, and they'll put something out, and then they'll be like, they'll run it for a couple months, and then it'll be gone, and then eBay will start putting that shit out for twice the cost. So I just learned, and just when I want something, I'm just gonna grab it and I'll put it in the shelf till the next time I can get to it. You know what I'm saying?
Let me tell you this. Watch. On that topic, bro. Look, I picked this up from a local game store. I mean, I'm lying. I picked this up on eBay. You know how much this thing went on eBay for? They're like, I think the lowest you'll get them on eBay is like $10, and that's if you're freaking lucky, dude. They go for like $25, $30, unpainted. The Beholder, unpainted. But go to your game store. You go to your game store, they're like $5, $7.
I mean, ridiculous, man. That's what I'm talking about. I mean, sometimes I'll find a good deal, but it's like very rarely. And now everybody thinks everything is vintage or collectible, and it's like, all right, motherfucker, it's still in the store. It's not a collectible yet. It's still in the store. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you know what? A lot of that market's made by like these exclusive, like Reaper Bones dropping, what they call that? GoFundMe and all that too. And then so everybody knows,
the
things run out.
Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go, Kickstarter. That's the word I was looking for.
You know what? I'm gonna be honest, man. I did one Kickstarter so far, and it was for a set of paintbrushes from Ichiban Studios. Like, they're really good I haven't even used them yet. These are such nice brushes. You know what I'm saying? And it was all right. It wasn't a very hefty Kickstarter, and I was kind of like, well, if you're gonna re-release the brushes anyway, and you know they're gonna be a little bit more expensive, I'll grab them now. That'll work. But when it comes to these miniature companies like Reaper and Wizard of the Coast and all that stuff, and I get it. Like I think somebody on the Discord was like, yeah, you know, they're trying to feel out the market. I'm like, bullshit, man. Come on, look. Y'all motherfuckers have enough inventory and enough stock financially to not have to use Kickstarter. You know what I'm saying? Kickstarters. I think Kickstarter's more for people like you and I who are, you know, we've got a product that we think is going to be really good, like a game or something. You know, and you want to get it out there, but you don't have the funds, right? Because it's not something you were planning for since you were a kid. You know, or you don't have that kind of resource. That's what Kickstarter was originally for. But now you got all these big name companies. That's like Games Workshop going on Kickstarter. We're gonna get crowdfunding for our next couple armies because
but that's, you know what that is though. It's just a business model. It's because there's a lot less risk involved that way. There's zero risk. That's just a business model. That's what they're doing. I mean, they're taking advantage of it. Yeah. I mean, I don't think they don't have to do that, but
I mean, I guess in the end, it's all supply and demand, right? Like if the customer is willing to do that and willing to go for that, then there you go. You have your market, right? So, I mean, who the fuck am I, you know?
yeah. But, I don't know. I think they're pretty good. I mean, I got that. That's what got me into 3D printing. It was a Kickstarter with the longer 10 and all that.
Oh, yeah?
That's what got me into it, yeah. Well, I wouldn't say into it 100% because I already had an FDM printer, but my FDM printer was crappy. I bought a cheap one. Yeah. Again, I'm married. You know how it is.
Yeah. You got kids, man. You can't, you know.
Yeah, it is.
When you got kids, we got kids, we broke. That's just how it goes, man.
Well, but you know, my old lady, like I'll get something like a 3D printer or something, and my old lady's like, hey, what do you do? What do you do? You know.
Oh yeah.
You know, everything is, oh my God, but boy, when she wants a $700-800 coach purse.
Bro, everything with a wife. I love my wife to death, man, and she supports me, bro. But every purchase, I shit you not, from a $3 spring to a $80 model kit. She's, what are you gonna do with that? What do you need that for? Where are you gonna put that? I'm like, I'm gonna put it where I put it. That's
I'll show you where I put it.
Where it's gonna be. So it's like that's where it's gonna be at. Just let it be. I love her to death though, man. But she does. You know what? She does keep me in check, man. Because if it wasn't for my wife, I would probably be in the poorhouse. You know what I'm saying? Like I'd have a lot of toys, but I'd be in the poorhouse. Like, I'd be broke all the time.
Tell you what, my old lady's got it. My old lady's got it bad with Nightmare Before Christmas. That's what she's got it bad with.
Oh man, but it's hard not to. I love Nightmare Before Christmas, man. And if you know, man, honestly, if I had my own house, that would be the same way. We would be decorating all the time.
Man, let me. How serious it is, look. This is some of my yard signs. Hold on. That's for Halloween, right? But I've got like a whole set. I've got like, I don't know, like at least six Nightmare inflatables that go in the yard.
Nice.
That's the animatronics, and yeah, they work.
Wow. My
Look
daughter.
at the kitchen. It's nice. All Nightmare.
That's so cool, man. That's cool though. That's her thing. You know what I'm saying? Like that. Not a lot of people. Not a lot of wives.
Yeah, most people have
that.
like ducks or cocks or something like that.
Yeah, something. Yeah. Something silly, like like my wife is into cats. You know, if she could decorate the house with everything cat, she would. You know what I'm saying? Like there'd be fucking cats everywhere. You know, I'd have more cats in the house. I'd be like going nuts. You know.
Zero, I got to get some electricity to my phone.
Okay, no worries.
So,
but listen, we got the know-how now.
Yes.
So
we're gonna do this every Tuesday.
I think we should, and I think let's. I don't have any of the rule books on hand because I got them at my buddy's house because I keep all my D&D stuff at his house because he's got the table and the space, and that's where we play. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to print out some copies of the rule books, so at least I have them on hand when we sit down if we want to talk about that kind of stuff. Because I don't want to say something online and people be like, "Nah, motherfucker, you're wrong." You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
You know, at least we'll have that. And I'm going to try and figure out too. Let's see if we can figure out how to get people to call in or something. You know what I'm saying? Like that'd be kind of
do it with StreamYard right here.
We can.
Yep.
Okay. I mean, and that way, you know, we could have, you know, whoever, you know what I'm saying? They got a question. They just want to tell us to shut the fuck up, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm down for whatever, man.
People that disagree go to the front of the line.
Yeah. I mean, you know what? It's funny that you say that because that creates that controversy that people want to listen to for some fucking reason.
Yeah, humans like debate, man.
Yeah, man. And it's just like, you know, we can't just have a smooth conversation because it's got to be, you know what I'm saying? It's got to be some kind of turmoil in order for it to be attractive to people. But like I said, I mean, I'm gonna let people know that I can do this now because I've been bugging about this for a while, bro. And hopefully that Thursday my camera will come in and I'll get a better fucking camera than what I got right now. And we'll work on it.
I got a couple of topics. I don't know.
What do you?
Like
you were talking about. You want to talk about Copa?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, because even you brought it up the other night. Like I've been reading about it and everything, and I watched the Federal Trade, the commissioner. I watched his speech that he gave, well, his interview, whatever you want to call it,
right?
His press briefing, whatever. And everybody's blaming the FTC, and like I just don't. I mean, I think everybody's conflating the FTC with what YouTube is going to do, because YouTube is the one that collected all the data. YouTube is the one that sold it. YouTube is the one that did all the illegal stuff. Now, it looks like they were in cahoots with other channels like Ryan's Toy Review and so what. It looks like it because the commissioner he mentions, like he didn't say any channels by name, but he did say that they looked at channels.
Right.
And then bottom line is, do you make your content for kids? That's the bottom line. That's all the FTC cares about. And then they don't care if you advertise because Disney gets to advertise.
Yeah.
They don't care about that. What they care about is YouTube taking children's data. That's what they care about.
Right. But now here's the thing. See, what I'm seeing is whether you make your content intentionally for children or not, right? Like let's say you don't. You like me, I make it for guys my age, a little bit younger, a little bit older, right? That's my intended audience.
Not 13-year-olds or younger. Yeah.
Right. Now the only person that watches my stuff, if I make him watch it, is my son. You know what I'm saying? And he's 10, and that's my choice as an adult and a parent.
But you're not collecting his data.
But yeah, like I said, I'm not doing
that's
anything with that. But my thing is, what they're saying is, whether or not you intend it to be made for children or not isn't the issue anymore. It's whether or not that content is considered appealing to children, right? So,
but that's YouTube's take. That's not the FTC's take.
Okay.
That's YouTube saying that.
Who's going to enforce that though? Is it
on YouTube? But everybody keeps saying, I don't want a $45,000 fine. It was hold up. YouTube's not going to fine you $45K. YouTube will demonetize you. YouTube will ban you. But YouTube can't fine you for that. Right.
And that's what because I was watching a bunch of different channels. Like, oh, it's the end of this. It's the end of that for my channel. I'm like, no, dude, it's not. You're just not going to make as much money as you did before. You know what I'm saying?
Well, there's a lot of channels that won't be able to. There's a lot of them because YouTube's saying they're going to demonetize all those. They're saying it.
And see, here's the thing, right? Like initially, I had intended, when I first started my channel, it was for my friends. Then I was like, this can kind of work. It's fun. I'd like to do this as a job. You know what I'm saying? Make some money doing this stuff. It would be fun. Dude. Mm-hmm. If I got sponsors to send me product to review and keep, that would pay for everything. You know what I'm saying? Like I wouldn't have. Then I would be fine.
Yeah, pay for your hobby, and then yeah.
Right. They're keeping it coming, and that's good. Whatever. But I'm not doing that. I'm not getting monetized. So to me, it's like, well, what do I lose? I mean, if they come to me and say, hey, that shit is inappropriate, I'm like, well, to who? You know what I'm saying? Like the majority of my viewers are fucking adults. I mean, I have algorithm analytics too. You know what I'm saying? Like I can see those analytics too, and it shows my adult. I have nothing under a certain age. But even though you don't, again, if it's deemed targeted towards kids, they're gonna.
But that's YouTube.
Yeah.
That's not the FTC.
But see, that's such bullshit, man. It's like,
That's YouTube. Yes, it is bullshit what YouTube's doing. It is. And everybody keeps blaming the FTC, but that's not the FTC saying that.
right.
All the FTC is saying is that there's a law called COPA, the Child Online Privacy Protection Act, COPA.
Yep.
And all YouTube is, I mean, all the FTC is saying is that you can't collect kids' data. YouTube is doing that. Looks like in cahoots with other channels, and they got fined 170 million for doing it.
Yeah. What you call it? I don't know. I mean, December 10th is the deadline, right, for everybody to change their shit and get their shit in order.
Yeah.
That's the date, supposedly.
Yeah, we ain't gotta do shit.
I mean, yeah, I don't know, man.
We ain't gotta do shit.
Look, what I think should happen, honestly, and if
I can't see the chat. So I mean, you're watching it. I don't know.
No, I can't actually. Hold up.
Oh, you gotta check that.
Hold up.
Because I know, like, well, I don't know, because we're not on my channel though.
Hold on. Let me go to my channel and see, because I've never done this either.
You ought to paste the link in Discord too.
Oh, hold up. Let me do that.
Because if Rivers sees it, he'll jump in and listen, and if they can, of course. But most of them have a life right now. But I'm gonna keep talking just while you're doing that. But anyway, like another thing is, everybody's freaking out because YouTube says, well, because the FTC did say that they consider child-oriented things as, you know, bright colors and toys and blase, right? But y'all got to remember, they also said that's if you're collecting children's data. That's the FTC. YouTube is saying that they're going to demonetize anything that they deem child-oriented. There's a difference there, is all I'm saying. I don't think any of us have to worry about. I mean, I'm sure there are, like I said, there are those channels that it sounds like they were cahooting with YouTube, and they got to worry about it. But I mean, unless you're in, you know, you're collecting children's data knowingly with YouTube, I don't see why any YouTube's got to worry about it.
You know what's weird? I opened up another tab to go to YouTube to look at the stream. As soon as I click on the stream, it everything like this, all the audio is echoed, like it doubles up. You know what I'm saying?
I muted mine. Really?
Yeah, like it repeats itself. Yeah.
Well, no, because I'm off of mine.
Oh, you know, it's like a time delay.
Oh, well, yeah.
Yeah, it's a time delay. Hold up. Yeah, it's a time delay.
I just heard that.
Hold up. That is so fucking weird.
I just heard that.
Hold up. That is so fucking weird. That is so fucking weird.
All right, now it's going to start reverbing because your mic's picking up the echo.
But it's only doing it on while I have the YouTube. Yeah.
Browser up, yeah, because it's playing the audio, and then it's going through your mic, and it's going to start looping. You still there? Uh-oh. I can't hear you if you're there. Oh, he left the show.
Hello. All right. Hey. Where's my motherfucker going?
You back, buddy?
Yeah, you can hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I closed the internet. I was like, damn it.
That's okay. I had to go get power.
All right. Yeah, I'm trying to see here. Okay. Okay, so on StreamYard, there is a section for live viewer comments.
Yeah, but I'm not sure how that works.
Okay, so it's still connected to YouTube. So when they type on YouTube, I'll see it here on my screen. But the nice thing is I don't have to actually open up YouTube to do that, because I was opening up YouTube again and going to the stream itself, and that's where it was reverberating and the sound was like echoing, because there's a time delay from what we're recording to what they're seeing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
What's a broadcast delay? That's interesting. Okay. So now, let me see.
Hey, say, which one's on, bro? What's on? Is it line or circle?
What do you mean?
On these things.
On is line.
Yeah.
Fuck, I don't know. I think it's circle.
Yeah.
What is that?
No, it's line. A styrofoam knife.
Oh, I never had one of those. I had the one with the big. It's like a toilet paper roll with a huge hanger on it. That's the ones I used to use. That's a nice one.
This one they sell at Walmart, and then it doesn't have a plug. It's got a USB.
But nice.
The blade is really short. Is what I like about it.
Yeah.
Because when you get a long blade, that blade does this.
Yep.
So now I get to do this to the whole thing.
This is cool. Okay. I like it. This is pretty cool.
So what else I got? With Miguel. You want to talk about Miguel?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, for sure.
So anyway, the other day I was talking to somebody on Discord, right? And this is how the whole topic came up. And I was like, because we were talking legalities. I like talking legalities and stuff. I mean, I'm not a lawyer or nothing, of course, but I kind of know how the law works. But anyway, so the topic was, is it copyright to 3D model, let's say a knoll, for instance, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then so my argument is no, it's not. It's like when Fortnite was getting sued by Battleground, whatever it is, because Battleground was saying that it's their game format and Fortnite just stole it from them. And it's like, yeah, that's true, but that's like saying you got copyright on baseball,
right,
or football, or chess. It's a game format. You can't copyright that. Anybody's allowed to make a football team. So that applies to, like, in D&D. It's like you can't copyright a griffin. You can't. Nobody owns copyright to that. Now, certain things like the Beholder, I could see Wizards having an argument. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
The Umber Hulk, but like Unicorn, they got they have no copyright claim to that.
Okay.
Now, the thing Miguel's doing, though, because the word is that Miguel's got some kind of understanding with Wizards, where Wizards doesn't mess with him, right? So the thing with Miguel is, though, is like, if it ever happened, they would say flat out, it's like Miguel sat down and 3D modeled the entire monster manual. I mean, it's pretty obvious. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then there's an argument there.
Well, here's here's the thing, right? Like with the whole copyright thing, I think like when Wizards of the Coast, back when they were going through fourth edition and they were getting rid of fourth edition, they knew fourth edition didn't work. Like they got the public outcry and they knew it didn't work, and they were working on fifth. When fifth was released, they released it with open licensing, right? So that other creators could add to the product, right? Like so they could create and like modules and things like that. And now that doesn't mean you have the right to go in and change something and say this is a beholder now, not that, because Wizards of the Coast still has no, this is our beholder, this is what it is, that's it,
Yeah.
And like Reaper even made beholders and they were like eye stalk monsters, you know what I mean? And that's all it took. It's just change the name and the appearance a bit and you win. They did the same thing back in the day with comics, like Marvel Comics and DC Comics had this feud forever. And their whole thing was like, well, we have the Punisher. Yeah, well, we have the disciplinarian, and he has like a fucking lemon head instead of a skull, but he does the exact same shit. You know what I'm saying? Like that's all they got to do. All you got to do to change the content and make it like license open is just tweak it a little bit. But now, for as far as Miguel is concerned, the thing I think with Miguel, the biggest, like for me, if someone was to say, well, he's copywriting infringement and this, no, he's not. First of all he did was make 3D prints of every monster available in that book. But the big thing that saved his ass, in my opinion, was that he provided it as a free service for everyone. He put that out there for free. He doesn't charge anybody. He didn't charge anybody. It was on his accord, on his dime, on his time. He said, here, I'm going to create these so that we all as GMs have the monsters we need to run our campaigns effectively. And I'm doing it for free. You don't have to pay me shit. Now, those websites that you can find those molds in, and they may charge, for the transaction service, right? Like they may charge you
for hosting the data, yeah.
Yeah, like here, we're gonna post this up, so it'll cost you $2 for the fucking model. Okay, big deal. But Miguel himself, no, he did not do anything. I don't think he did anything wrong. That's like saying I'm wrong for drawing a picture of a red dragon because I like red dragons.
But if you draw that red dragon, because there's a very distinct red dragon in D&D.
Right, absolutely. That's what I'm saying. Like I actually like red dragons in D&D. They're my favorite, right? The blue and red. If I drew a picture of a blue and red dragon and I handed it to you and said, here, this is for you, because I know you like blue dragons, I'm not copyright infringing. I'm not saying, hey, give me $10 for this blue dragon picture, bitch. You know what I'm saying? It's legit. You know what I mean? I'm not going to a convention and putting those things on display and selling them as my original work. No way. I've gone to conventions as an artist with an artist table, and you can't do that. You can't plagiarize any art. And the only way you can do that is if you're actually selling prints from something else, right? Like if I actually have an official D&D print of a blue dragon, I can sell that, but I can't sell something and say, that's my drawing of a blue dragon. Here you go. You know what I'm saying? Like I can vary it if I wanted to. Like if I changed it up a little bit, change the horn, now that's my blue dragon, then I can sell that. You know what I'm saying? I think that's the way it's supposed to. I think those are the general rules when you go to conventions, from what I understand. Because original art it's tricky when it comes to that. And I think that it's like original art for him. Yes, he took the picture from the monster manual, but he's not selling it. He doesn't have a price tag on it. He's just giving it away. So I think he's legit, man. And I think a dude like that's crucial. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a good thing,
I agree, it's a good thing, but I say from a legal standpoint, he's copyright infringement. He's infringing.
Do you think so?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm telling you why. It's because there's a solid argument to be made that he sat down and modeled the 3D book. Now, again, you said what saved him is he didn't charge anything. I agree with that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that too. But and I think that's why Wizards doesn't tell him anything. But yeah, because I would argue that he modeled the monster manual.
I see what you're saying. I get what you're saying. I can see that. I mean, yeah, I don't see it. I'm almost on both. I'm almost on the fence because it's like, on the one hand, it's not a Wizards of the Coast official product, and kind of like taking licensing and business away from them if you think about it, right? Like that's the intellectual property rights, right? Like if I 3D print out Space Marines, I don't need to buy Space Marines from Games Workshop. I'm kind of taking money out of their pocket, so to say, right?
Yeah.
But as a consumer, I'm like, fuck that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you guys are charging way too much, in my opinion, anyway. And I pay for this shit because I want to finish my armies. But let's be realistic. Like, that shit's not worth what we're paying. Not by a long shot. You know what I'm saying? Not when they're paying pennies on the dollar. And I'm not saying I should pay pennies on the dollar. I'm just saying, as a consumer, I'm like, look, man, free is for me, and ride the wave, I guess. I mean, and if you think about it, right, it's not necessarily free, right, in this sense, because I had to pay for a printer, a decent printer at that. I've got to pay for resin, or I've got to pay for filament. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got to pay for that shit. That's coming out of my pocket one way or another. The volume of things that I can print reduces that cost, but at the same time, it's not like he's walking to my house and handing me a bag of miniatures saying, here you go. You know what I'm saying? Like, and if I were to take those miniatures, let's say I had a 3D printer, right? And I printed out all his models in duplicates and I started selling them to my friends, I would be breaking the law.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I know I would be breaking the law. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, if they gave me a bag of minis and I got duplicates, I'm like, here you go, bro. This is for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause whatever. You know what I'm saying? That's not breaking the law. That's just sharing. You know what I'm saying?
No. You're allowed to give things. Yeah. But yeah.
I feel like it's almost like it's almost like when Napster first came on the scene,
Yeah, that was a big argument. I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember that. But that got out of control, honestly. Everybody had Napster, man.
But
nobody was buying music back then.
Well, yeah, and I mean, it came down to some musicians being a little bit overzealous and greedy. And, what's the difference between me sharing a song on MP3 or me recording it from the fucking radio? Which is free. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's the difference? There's no difference.
It's more prevalent now. That it takes an even bigger chunk away than recording on the radio did.
And it's funny because
you get it in high quality.
I was just listening to a podcast with Joe Rogan, and he had the RZA on there. And the RZA was like, he broke it down. He's like, look, man, this is what it costs to actually make one fucking record. To do one track, it takes this much time, this much money, and this many people to do it right. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, okay, I can get that. I understand the value of $1, right? So I'm not oblivious to like how much things cost to make and produce, right? Especially when you're talking about creativity. Like when you're talking about like being an artist and creating something from nothing, I get it. You know what I'm saying? It takes a lot of fucking money and a lot of time and resource, but I don't know how I feel about it. I mean, if I was a musician, I'd want to get paid, right? Like, that's the bottom line. And I feel like these people, they get paid. They get paid like before they even set foot in the studio. You know what I'm saying? Like, or depending on their contracts, big time stars get paid before they even get into the studio. They're there. They're we're gonna pay you for this record. We need this many records. Okay, they got their money. You know what I'm saying? The newer artists are like, well, once you finish a record and we make some sales, then you'll get some money. You know what I'm saying? But these cats are getting paid. It's not like they're not. It's just they're just not. The industry is just not making as much off of pirating as they used to. You know what I'm saying? Because it was harder to do back then. You couldn't pirate a vinyl. You know what I'm saying?
So hey, man, it's gonna get worse. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, man. I mean, look,
it's gonna get worse.
We're
eventually 3D printers. They're gonna start printing molecules, man. It's gonna happen.
I think that's a scary thought.
Yeah, it's gonna happen. Like in Fifth Element, where they printed the girl Lilu.
Yeah,
that's gonna happen, man.
Yeah, I don't doubt it, man.
How far down the road is it? I don't know, but it's gonna happen.
Yeah. Well, it's definitely a foreseeable future, especially at the rate we're going, right? Like we're climbing really fast. You know what I'm saying? Like just 100 years ago, look at what we had. You know what I'm saying?
Did you know that they're 3D printing veins?
You know, check it out, man. When I was going through my procedure for my lung transplant, they have this thing. They're actually printing 3D lungs right now. That actually they're 3D printed with a genetic material that actually is encodable with your DNA.
Yeah.
So this thing is, they did a heart. They did like a rabbit's heart. So they print this heart, right? And then they inject the heart with the rabbit's blood and DNA, and that heart becomes the rabbit's heart. So basically what they're trying to do is create it so that when you have a transplant, you're not having a donor and you're not having rejection. You're actually getting your organ.
That's crazy.
Yeah, dude. And I saw the process. Oh my God, dude. I hit my knees, dude, and I prayed to God that comes quick. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's an amazing move in medicine. But my realistic side hits me with, well, you know what's going to happen, right? Like, yeah, it's your lung, but they're going to charge you a fucking arm and a leg for it because the pharmaceutical company is going to be like, wait a minute. Now there's 30 pills a day this guy doesn't have to take. So we're out of business for that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The pharmaceutical companies right now, dude, they're running the world, man.
Yeah.
You can't do. I was just thinking about it the other day. I was talking to my buddy, right? We do survival training. We go out and we go camping, hiking, woodsman. We go shooting. We do all that stuff. And we were talking about, if shit went crazy in the city, because everybody's humming and hawing about civil war. I don't think it's gonna happen, but that's what they're hawing about. But they're saying, what do you do? What are you going to do? And I'm thinking to myself, well, what the fuck am I going to do? I have a plan. I have a preparation plan, something in place for me and my family, an emergency situation, at the least 72 hours. But I need medication. You know what I'm saying? I need drugs to stay alive, man. Like at least 4 pills minimum to stay alive. And I'm like, well, what happens when that shit is no longer available? They all talk about, people joke about the zombie apocalypse and zombies are coming. We should have a zombie apocalypse. It's not going to be zombies, dude. It's going to be people off of their medications looking for drugs. Ritalin and all Adderall, all this stuff that people use to level themselves out. That's what's going to be the problem. And all these pharmaceutical companies got to do is say, you know what? Let's stop making medicine for one day. One day, if they stop making medications, the whole world is fucked.
Yeah, you got a big point there. Yeah.
Like I have there's one of the pills that I take. Thankfully, it's not one of the sometimes it's one of the anti-rejection meds, and every once in a while, we go and we'll fill in the prescription and whatever, and they're like, well, we don't have enough, so there's not enough to give around. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, so I could die if I don't get that pill. Like I'll be done. How long? You know what I'm saying? Oh, next week, whatever. And then all that takes is like I said, pharmaceutical company saying, all right, well, we're not making any money, so let's just cut medications for one day. Let's see what happens. And the world will shut down. You know what I'm saying? It's just ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah, no, the pharmaceuticals have way too much power. They're allowed to do whatever they want with their product. They can patent it. They can patent DNA. Somebody needs to step in. They're patenting DNA. They patent treatments, and it's crazy.
But it's all par for course, right? Like nothing happens for free. Nothing happens in this country accidentally, right? I mean, you may drop a glass. That's chaos theory, right? Like you had a glass in your hand, all of a sudden it dropped. Okay. What I'm talking about is these people would not be where they are if there wasn't another group of people supporting that movement and benefiting from that movement, right? Like, so our politician system, right? Like our whole political system is based on finance, right? So if you're not, excuse me, if you're not getting the money from me in taxes, where's it coming from? These corporations are sending money to the government. Oh, we need our agenda pushed, we need this agenda pushed. and these pharmaceutical companies, they're right there with them. Like, we need this shit pushed too. Let's get this through, you know. And no matter how much people say, oh, it's not, you know, they're not connected, not what. Yes, they are. They are. It's an interwoven system that cannot be broken at this point. Like, we can't break that system.
You think?
I don't know, man. I think total economic collapse would do it. But again, you have so many people in this country dependent on medication. Like, we're the most medicated dependent country in the goddamn world, man. That's not a coincidence. That's not, whoops. You know, we did the wrong man. No, there's a reason that we're over medicated in this country, bro. And it's because, you know, those companies are making the drugs that we supposedly need.
Yeah, I suspect a lot of it is the food and the water, man.
Yeah.
In other countries, you know, well, and then another thing is too is, you know, you have to take into account. You're like, yeah, we're the most medicated, okay, but that's because we have the most medicine. And then, you know, other countries, and then another thing is too is other countries, one, they don't vaccinate. Two, they don't. They eat more natural stuff. I mean, there's still places in the world where people go out in the backyard, you know, not in the backyard, but in the backfield, and they fish in a ditch, you know, they eat natural food. There's people still fishing, you know, they go out to get dinner in the country, and especially like in these third world countries, that's where they're doing it, man. They go out and they catch catfish, they catch whatever, you know, out in the river, out in the bog, out whatever.
Yeah, it's like less processed and all that shit.
Yeah. Well, we all know that's bad for you, bro. There's no way all that processing is good for you, man.
No.
There's no way.
Yeah, I don't know. It's definitely interesting.
Well, you ever play Magic the Gathering?
You know, I played really early in the 90s.
What block? Ravnica?
I don't know what it was. It's just regular Magic the Gathering, and I had, I can't even remember what decks I had, because there was like 5 different elements you could use. Yeah, and I had
red,
like
blue, black, white, and green.
I think it was like green and black, because at the time that was what I was comfortable with, my play style. I went to a tournament with some friends, and I got handed, you know, I got treated. And I think after that, I started getting into other things, and then I just stopped playing, you know. I don't even know what happened to my cards, to be honest with you. And I had like, I don't know, a fuck ton of cards, because my buddies and I, we'd all buy a brick, you know. Yeah. And then we'd get, okay, you're using white and red, okay, here you go, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Or if we got rare cards, we would all like
fight over it. Yeah.
No, we would that was my answer, but no. We would like bid for it, you know what I'm saying? And then, you know, whoever had the best bid, you throw in cards for a bid, you know. But there was some pretty powerful cards in Magic. There was a couple cards, man. It was just like, God damn, why would they even make that shit? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, I played mostly in Kamigawa block, which was it was all Asian stuff. And it was really cool. I like that block a lot, man.
Yeah.
A lot of spirits, and because like the Asians, I'm not even sure if it's Japanese or Chinese, but they call their demons Oni. I know that.
Yeah.
And, yeah. And, there's a lot of Onis, but I always played Black Magic. Always.
What are you building? What kind of table is that?
This is what it is. It's a foam top to go on top of the table. So this is going to actually be my battle mat. And then underneath it, I've got some other foam pieces cut out, and they're all magnetized, and they'll snap together. And then this will sit on top of the table to give the table just ambiance. You know what I mean?
For sure.
You know what I mean? Just so it's not just a table. It's, you know, it looks more like more like a video game. You know what I mean? I guess.
Yeah. I got you.
More visual.
I got you.
So like instead of making this, you know, this cool table and woodworking it all and casting stuff out of resin and sculpting and all that, you know, like these expensive $1,000 tables you see on the internet and all that, I could take this with foam and I mean, if I wanted to, I will. I could personalize my player slots and everything. Like I could put their names on there.
Yeah.
Because the way it's going to work is I'm going to have one. Right. So 2, 4, 5 people around this.
Gotcha.
And then I could, if there's if your group's got like Acquisitions Incorporated, I could put the AI on it.
Right.
That's the
cool.
plan.
That's funny, man. I was talking about that.
Big craft table, dude. Get a ping pong table.
I was just talking about that in my last video, man. Like people just, like my friends that play D&D and the ones that are, you got to run another campaign. I'm like, yeah, I do, but not for you, for me, because I want to, whatever. But it's like the GM, it's like an unspoken rule, man. It's like an unspoken law that the dungeon master is a fucking. He's not just the guy that tells the story.
Right.
You got to do everything. You got to buy. You got to.
I know.
Yeah, man. It's like, where's that rule at? Like, it doesn't say that in the dungeon master's guide. Like,
but a lot of that comes because you don't want to spoil stuff, and I get that, but yeah, I know your players think they just got to show up with their player manual, and not even that sometimes.
That's what I was hitting on. I was like, look, man, at the very fucking least, have your shit ready. Your player's handbook, your character sheet should be nice and neat, so I could read the shit when I'm questioning your logic. Get yourself a miniature if we're using miniatures. Like, at least do that, man. That's the minimal investment you got to do to come to my game. Everything else I provide: music, ambiance, props, miniatures, tabletop, accessories. You know what I'm saying? Like, aside from cooking you motherfuckers dinner, damn. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I got it even worse, buddy, because I DM for my kids.
Yeah, that's true.
So they don't they don't help the crap.
I mean, but that's what though, for in your case, in this specific instance, that's a good thing because you're providing them with an extremely rare look into this hobby. Because I'll tell you the truth, man, when I started Redbox, it was just paper and pencil and theater of the mind, right? And it was theater of the mind all the way up until 3.0. Because like
3.0,
yeah, I mean, I had miniatures before then, but it was never purposeful. It was never like, well, we need these miniatures to tell you where you are, whatever, movement and all that shit. It wasn't until 3.0 that miniatures became prevalent, and it was like I was the one, because I was already into miniatures. I was already into Warhammer. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, well, let me use my skeletons, and we can use these guys to fight skeletons. You know what I'm saying? And orcs and shit. And yeah, they look silly because they don't look like D&D orcs, but they're fucking orcs. Who cares? And my GM was like, now I gotta go and get. I don't really want to get, because they don't really want to fuss with it, because their whole lives they've been sitting at the table just talking,
Right.
And behind the dungeon master screen, just sitting there talking, belly's getting big, and not not saying anything against big guys, but it's like, come on now, get up and move around, you've been sitting there for 8 hours playing Dungeons and Dragons and you ain't moved since. You know what I'm saying?
I don't sit when I play, dude.
So when I started dungeon mastering, I started before miniatures were prevalent, like before 3.0. You know what I'm saying? And I always added them when I could, because it was like, this is where you are. This is where the monster is. What are you going to do? How are you going to do it? You know what I'm saying? And people were like, it's too complicated, blah, 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 blah. Then 3.0 came out. And like I said, I started introducing all that stuff. And I had a lot of that stuff done. Like I had skeletons, zombies, I had, vampires. I had all kinds of miniatures because I was painting miniatures, and I just started adding, and people, this is fucking cool. This is awesome, and I originally had I still have it. It's a Chestex, like battle mat, it's got the grids already printed on it. You just use like dry erase or wet erase markers, and you just draw your scenery. And so I was doing that and adding the miniatures, and they loved it. And then I started getting the actual maps that they would produce. Like, they started producing maps with grids on them and tile systems with grids on them. And I started getting those because I was like, well, cool, there's some shit I don't have to do. You know what I mean? It's less work for me, and everybody loved it. Everybody loved the idea of it. They loved the whole premise of it. But then, like I said, that's my pocketbook. Thousands of dollars, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, thousands of dollars. Like, to just run a game for some motherfuckers is like, And I didn't expect people to kiss my ass or anything like that. No, just be real with me. If you got a problem, let's talk about it. You know, let's talk about it like adults because we're adults at this point, right? And if I had someone like get out of line, it was like, yo, what else do you need? You know what I'm saying? Like, how much more do I need to give you to satisfy you to play a fucking game? You know, if you weren't satisfied, you got to go. Bye, Felicia. You know?
My brother-in-law says, bye, Felicia.
I mean, yeah, it's like, you know, like I had this one guy, constantly negative cat, man, just negative. You know what I mean? Everything, the world was against him. You know, everybody hated him. You know, he could never get to game on time. It was all the bus driver passed me up. I'm like, look, man, if you left your house at 2 o'clock and you knew you were supposed to be here at 2:30, you were already late, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to travel across the city. You were already late. You knew that, you know, and it was just one of those guys. Monsters would attack. They'd get, if he get, you know, damaged or if he died, it was like, hey, you threw yourself in the mix for no reason. Like, you didn't have to do that, and you did that, and that's what happened. That's not my fault. You know, and I got tired of explaining shit like that to this kid. And I was like, look, man, with all the shit that I provide for you and this game and these people, you're ruining it for everybody else. You got to go. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just not working out. You're going to have to find yourself a new GM. Because it was, you know what I'm saying? And he was one of my buddies. He was one of my close buddies. I'm like, man, I hate to have to say this to you, but you're fucking it up for everybody else, bro. You know, like.
Yeah, well, no, you can't allow that, bro. You can't. So let me ask you this. What do you think about this, the fairies and the T-Rexes and its OP? What do you think about that?
What do you mean?
You know about the, you know how you could take a druid and you could summon the, what is it, woodland being or something, and you can pick fairies, and then you can have your fairies polymorph the rest of your party into T-Rexes and then wreck the dungeon. You ever heard about this?
Yeah.
Let me ask, would it wreck your dungeons?
No, not even in the least bit. You know, I'll tell you why. If as a GM, no. As a player, I'd be like, well, I'm a T-Rex now, so I'm gonna do T-Rex shit, right? But as a GM, no. You just plan. You not even plan, because you can't plan for shit like that. That's some crazy shit. I never heard of
argument to that, though. I say you can plan.
I mean, okay. I think what you can do is adapt immediately and put them in a situation that being a T-Rex won't help them. After a certain, I mean, don't punish them for doing it, right? Because you don't ever want to punish your players. You don't want to punish them for being a creative person. But what you do want to do is let them know, yes, you were creative, and I'm going to allow that. But I'm not going to allow you to ruin this dungeon or campaign based on your willy-nilly thoughts. You know what I'm saying? Like, just because you heard some shit was cool, and, you know, you decided, well, fuck it, I'm going to try it here.
See, that's the thing, though. That's not them being creative. They're just they read about it online and they know that.
Well, so even in that case, right? I still can't, since I can't prove it, I'm not there when they read it. I can only assume, right? I have to take their word, right? And you know they're bullshit, and you know straight up they're bullshit. You know when somebody's lying to you, right? But you got to say, okay, I'm gonna be humble, and I'm gonna take your word that this is what you just came up with off the top of your fucking head. That's cool, man. That's a cool ass idea. You can get this far. And then you start breaking logic in. Well, you're a fucking T-Rex. You're over 20 feet high. Your fucking head is over 5 feet long.
Dungeons, yeah,
you're not going to get into
3 feet tall in the corridor.
Yeah, you're not going to get into this doorway. Oops.
Right.
You can't even open the door. You know, you got little, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got little baby hands. Or there's a chasm. There's a chasm here now. You gotta get across this chasm, and there's a small tightrope bridge. A T-Rex ain't going to make it. Sorry, buddy. You're going to have to pop your work back. You know what I'm saying?
But if you're looking at you should be checking your character's player sheets anyway. You should know that they're going to do that before the game even starts.
And you see, here's the thing, right? With me, my one of my golden rules, right, is I keep your character sheets. No one takes them home. They stay with me after every session, after you made your adjustments for the session. If I give you gold or experience points for that session, you write that shit down. And I make sure you write it down, because I don't ever want to come to the next game and be like, oh, well, did we get experience points? And blah, none of that bullshit. No, you knew what we did. You just didn't want to do it. So your ass out. So I keep character sheets throughout the entire campaign. And then after the campaign, I ask them if they want to keep them, they can keep them. If they want me to keep them, I'll keep them, and I'll make them characters in the next campaign. You know, because I like to do that. I like to use, because it gives my players a sense of accomplishment that, yeah, man, that's the guy that did this, you know, and I can tell stories about it, and legend lore and all this stuff. If they made it far, it kind of gives the player like, oh shit, he's actually paying attention to what my other character did, and it makes me want to be in this world more. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's something I just came across, and I was like, man, I think that would be really cool, and it worked out, and my players enjoy it. But yeah, I always keep the character sheets, and I go over them every 5 levels. I'll go over the character sheets just to make sure that they got the ones in the right, because in 3.5 everything's math. It's like a fucking 1 + 3 + 5. You know what I'm saying? There's a ton of fucking math. So I always go over every 5 levels just to make sure that there's no, I put a 6 in there instead of a 5. Then I'm like, okay, why is there a 6 there? Oh, because he has this bonus from this weapon. Okay, cool. He's doing his math correctly, because you got to check that shit. Because when you start throwing things, here's the thing. I realized in 3 and 3.5, when they designed the monsters for the monster manual and the characters and the game campaign, they designed it so that a 4th level monster could handle a 4th level group of 4 players of any kind with a minimum loss of like 20% resources, right? Which is hit points, potions, spells, whatever, right?
Yeah.
So in essence, what they're saying is that monster at 4th level is only a challenge to that 4th level group if they are under half their resources. Meaning if they're like hurt, they lost a lot of shit, then they come across this monster, then he'll be a challenge. If they come at him full strength, he's not a challenge for them at all. There is no challenge, which is why when you add a second of that monster, it's only a percentage higher for the challenge, right? It doesn't go to, if you add another 4th level monster, it's not level 8 challenge, it's a level 4.1 challenge, because it's really not a big. So I learned a long time ago, like, monsters are weak as fuck compared to the players, because the players can get a ton of shit. Monsters only come with what they come with. If they got a fucking sword, or they got claws, or they got this or that. The treasure is only rolled after, so you don't know. They don't get the benefit from the treasure they carry. Never has a monster benefit unless it's something specific, like a MacGuffin that they have to get. Like this troll has a ring on his finger that is doing something. Holy shit, that's a rare thing. You kill the troll, take the ring. That's a different story. But when you kill a troll and then you roll for treasure, and if you do it randomly, it's like, oh, he just happened to have a fucking scroll of many eyes. You know what I'm saying? Like,
he didn't want to use on
that he didn't know how to use or didn't want to use. Exactly. So how does a rough come across a fucking ring of levitation? You know what I mean? Like, but yeah. So generally, I like to keep it open so that they don't the challenges are a little bit more. So like, for example, that same challenge, that 4th level challenge, right? Like if I'm let's say a group of orcs, two or 3 orcs, actually they're really low. So let's say a troll versus a 4th level group, or 5th level group. That's a challenge, right? Like that's supposed to be an equal challenge. But as soon as one player discovers the secret of the troll, it's over. And if they've already fought trolls, that battle's over before it started, right? Because they're already lighting their torches, they're already getting their fire spells ready. You know what I'm saying? So that troll doesn't stand a chance. He's no longer a challenge 4. But if I put that troll in a river, a deep river, or if I put that troll in an ambush situation like a sewer or something, a cavern that they can't see through, then that challenge rating gets higher, right? It gets way higher, especially if you put them in water. Anytime you put a monster in water, that challenge rating goes through the roof, because 9 times out of 10, I can promise you those players did not prepare for water encounters. And I guarantee you at least 1 to 2 of those motherfuckers is wearing full plate mail. And they're going to sink like anchors, And like I said, my buddy who was always complaining, he played a dwarf, and he played it was a dwarf fighter, and he always had full plate mail, full armor, because that's what he dwarf, he tanks, And anytime we were in a boat, this dude was shitting bricks. Like the player was literally sweating through the entire encounter, because it's like he knew, one, he didn't have a lot of skills in swimming. And even with skills in swimming, the encumbrance of the armor and all the shit, he was going to drown. He knew. It was like, well, if we don't finish this combat immediately, I'm going to drown eventually. Someone's going to have to save me. So you change the environment, you change the challenge. That's usually what I try to do. Like I said, somebody throws out Tyrannosaurus, the players are all T-Rexes. It's like, all right, cool. Well, here's the thing with a T-Rex, right? If you're a spellcaster, it sucks because you can't cast spells, because you need verbal and somatic to cast a spell. Somatics you can't do with a T-Rex because you got tiny little arms. You know what I'm saying? You throw that at them and it's like, oh, Well, I don't want to be a T-Rex anymore. I want to ride a T-Rex. You know what I'm saying? That's how I would handle it. You know, that's my take.
So what do you think, dude?
It's looking pretty good, man.
There's a basic idea, look.
It looks like a door. Like you stand it up, it's like a door. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know.
What are you gonna you're gonna paint this, right? Like you're gonna.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, see, it looks good.
See, that's the basic idea.
Yeah, it looks good. I like it.
Then, of course, this goes on top of a table.
Right. Okay. But see, I was telling my buddy. I was just talking to a buddy of mine. He's a dungeon master, old school, the one I learned from. But he's old school, right? He don't like to do minis. He don't like to do any of that shit. He's like, oh, I don't have room for maps. I'm like, motherfucker, you have a table. I know your table. His table is about as big as the one you're standing at right now. I'm like, you have enough room for anything you want on there. Don't give me that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like, say what you want to say and just say you don't want to use terrain or 3D stuff in your game. Say that. That's more respectable than saying I don't have the space. No, nigga, everybody got space. You just it's a matter of what
4x6 oval table. It's not that big.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't see how you can't get that. I mean, all you really need is like a 4x6 table. Shit, they sell them. I was looking at them. They sell foldables for I think $80. 4x6.
Bro, all you need, check it out. 4x4 table. All you need is a 2x2 map section. All you need, something in the middle to do your encounter. Unless you're doing flying creatures, you don't need that big of an encounter area. You know what I'm saying? Unless, okay, I did one time because I was using giants, and because they're hill giants, okay?
Yeah.
And at the time, my players were so powerful, hill giants weren't going to be a threat up close. But because they were so far away, they were able to throw their rocks at their full distance and stay away from the players. So it's like cat and mouse, because the giants were like, nah, I'm not getting close because you'll kill me. But I'll bust your head with this rock from a distance, which made it a challenge. Same thing when I use dragons. If anytime I use dragons or flying creatures, I have to have a large space because all those creatures suffer in small little maps because they can't fly and they can't use their abilities to the best of their ability. But you don't need, for anything ground-based, you don't need nothing bigger than that. That's a perfect size map for anything you're going to do ground-wise encounter. Especially if you're just using a flat map and you're not using 3D terrain, come on. It can be done. They play on the floor. I mean, that is me. I don't know. I get spoiled because most of the games I've run have been at pretty big tables, like 4x8 tables, dinner tables and shit. And I've had enough room to spread out the maps and everything like that. But even my Chessex map, I want to say it's like 3 feet by 2.5 feet or something like that. It's like the second to the biggest one. Even that I found for dragons was not big enough. I was like, this is not enough space for a fucking dragon to do its thing. Especially like the blue dragons, because they're the best flyers and they that's all they like to do is fly and do damage. And I'm like, anywhere on this map, you can hit them with an arrow or a fucking spell, which is not the point of this dragon. Like, their dragons stay out of range and use their range against you, but they can't take advantage of that because you got this tiny little fucking arena, that the players are standing on. So, but that's not about the only time I've ever had that be an issue.
So I'm guessing you've done epic level campaigns?
No, I actually ran a campaign once that my players got to 20th level and they wanted to go into the epic, but I didn't want to do epic because there was really nothing much they could challenge them that I had available to me. You know what I mean? Like, I could do NPC challenges, but that would get boring. I was like, epic level, what else do you want to do? You're pretty much fucking gods.
Yeah, you're wishing.
Yeah. And like, I didn't have a Tarask. I didn't have like a great red worm or anything like that. I think I used 2 gargantuan black dragons. That was the final challenge. And then they were teleported to hell because the real boss was in hell. And they basically were like faced with an army of demons and devils and, Orcus and stuff like that. And then it was like, at that point, I was like, do you guys want to do this battle? Or do we say that is the end of the game and we will leave it at your epic level survival, right? Like, because they had to go get one of their players from hell because he was trapped there. Like towards the end of the game, he got trapped, you know. So they said, no, let's just call it the game. They decided, you know, and I said, okay, cool. I didn't have to do a huge demon battle, you know, which I didn't have the resources for at the time, you know. So I was like, okay, cool, that works out. But you know, their characters are still alive. They're still roaming the Forgotten Realms, you know, and I think that was enough for them. You know what I'm saying?
Now I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do with this.
What is that? Just a circle piece of foam?
No, it's 5 pieces underneath.
The big circle
apart.
thing?
This part, yeah, this all comes apart. It's 5 pieces under there. See it?
Oh. You know what I would do?
No.
And this is gonna take a fuck ton of time. I would grid that whole thing. What is it made out of?
EVA foam, the bottom, because EVA foam is more durable.
Okay, so I would take a big pen. Okay, only a big pen because it won't depress too much. It'll give it a nice depression to make the lines, but it won't to the point where it'll tear everything.
Right.
Take your ruler and grid that whole fucking thing. Grid the whole thing, 1 inch by 1 inch, and then paint it gray. You know, like dry brush it gray, and you're good. And now you have an entirely dedicated tabletop for dungeons or encounters if you want. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then you could, if the other side is black, you could just leave that black or paint it a different color. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, if you want a desert encounter, you paint it tan. If you want, you know, if your most of your encounters are in the forest, paint it green. You know, and it's just something to just add to your atmosphere of your game. You know, or you could like go around the border, make a ring around the border, and put like runes. You know, magic runes, like symbols and stuff like that. Paint that shit in.
That's a cool idea.
Yeah. Give it like a mystical table type thing. You know what I'm saying? The way
I was planning on making borders that are interchangeable. So if I magnet paint about that much around it, with whatever that is, about 3 inches.
Right.
So if I magnet paint about 3 inches around this whole thing, then I can make little styrofoam things. Like, let's say, for instance, we're going to Egypt. I can make like Egyptian obelisks that would snap down right here, just to add.
Yeah. That would be cool. I mean, you could do that. Technically, I don't know how much this paint costs. You know what I'm saying? Because it's probably expensive.
It's like $20 for whatever this size can is.
Yeah. A quart? For $20? That's not too bad, actually.
Yeah, it might be 25.
I would do the whole. You know what? Then I would do the whole thing.
But here's the thing: I tried it. I put some magnetic paint on some EVA foam and I bent it, and it does crack. I mean, you gotta bend it about 75 degrees, something like that, 80 degrees, before it starts cracking. But y'all gotta remember, I got kids.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's not that far from them doing this while they're sitting at the table.
Right.
So yeah, that's why I was thinking about just here.
Just the border.
Yeah, and then here putting plastic dip, because that makes this even more durable.
Right. Yeah, I would try that. I mean, give it a shot. I mean, how much does that foam cost? You know what I'm saying? Like,
I think the packet. I think the packet's like $20, and this is less than a pack because I have 2 sheets left over. Yeah.
That's not bad.
So $20, and then what? It's like $10 for the sheet of
What's up, Mo? My nephew's online. He just said, "What's up?"
What's up?
He has a channel. He's out in Tennessee, and he's got a channel. It's called Gabe's Addictions. Gabe's _Addictions, actually, where he does a lot of car stuff, and he's had a lot of different cars over the years, but he's settled in on a 2018 Mustang that he's got. It's white, and he's got it decorated like Pennywise. And
cool.
He's got like some stuff on the side, written on the side. Like, I think it's like "We all float down here" or something like that, or "You'll float too" or something like that. It's pretty cool.
You gotta post that in Discord, man.
Yeah, he's got an Instagram page and stuff like that. He just recently had a little girl, you know, so he's dealing with that. But it's cool because, you know, I told him, like, I can't wait to get back to the channel, dude, because you got a lot of shit to put out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, and now that he's focused on one car, you know, he'll really be able to get some stuff.
Oh, Zero, look at my little gypsy wagon.
Where'd you get that?
I made it.
Did you really?
Popsicle sticks. Popsicle sticks, balsa wood. Yeah.
Oh man, that's what's up, dude.
And look, check this out. This comes off.
What?
And
there's a regular wagon.
There's like a Western, regular wagon, and then I have this little Western, you know, covered wagon top.
Bruh.
In it.
You got, bruh. That's pretty dope, man. You made that shit?
Yep.
Man, I had to go find mine. Look.
I got a video on it.
I was searching the internet for just something to add to my gypsy house. You know, because I was like, you gotta have a caravan. So I found this thing. Let's see if you can see it. It's what do you call it? MDF board. Yeah. And
oh, that's nice. God, it's nice.
And I put a little guy, an Imperial guy. This guy came with the Warhammer Fantasy Giant model. He's running from the Giant, but I put him up there because he kind of looks like a gypsy. I got a bird up on top, you know. So I'm gonna put this in the yard of the gypsy house, you know. But then, you know, it took me forever to find that fucking thing, you know. And then Wizards of the Coast releases a whole set with one in there. And I'm like, God damn it.
Yeah, I think they did make a wagon set, recently.
Yep. It comes with a whole.
I think I saw it after I did this one.
Yeah, because the thing is, like, my group always buys a wagon. They always, you know, they always wind up getting a wagon because it's always like, you know, they don't all want to ride horses. You know what I'm saying? So somebody always winds up getting a cart, and, you know, it makes it easier to travel.
Hey, you told all your crap. Oh, check this out. See if you recognize that. Who's that?
Who's that?
It's Groot.
Is that Groot, really? Oh, shit.
It's Groot.
He's a treant?
Yep.
Nice. What is that from? Is it just what, a little standy action figure?
Yep. Little bitty action figure.
That's what's up. That's what's up. I got a Treebeard figure somewhere from the Lord of the Rings when they first released them. We went to Games Workshop. We built a table, a 16-foot table that people could play, you know. And we were there, and they gave us. We also built a Mars table, like a racing table for 40K. And they gave us a bunch of free stuff after the event, you know, because we were hosting this game and all this other shit. And it was pretty cool. And one of us got Treebeard. I can't remember who it was, but they handed it to me, and I'm like, all right, got Treebeard.
Man, my buddy got an R2D2 Coca-Cola cooler. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Like the round ones that go in the stores. And man, I begged him for years because he doesn't even like Star Wars, but he won't give it to me, bro. He won't give it to me, and he doesn't even know where it is now.
That sucks. That sucks because he's not holding it because he wants it.
Yeah,
he's holding it because he knows you want it. You know what I mean?
It's not. It's not because of that. It's just he doesn't want to. He doesn't want to give it away, I guess. You know what I mean? But he's not even. But I'm like, dude, you don't even like Star Wars.
Does he use it?
No, like I said, he doesn't even know where it's at. I know he had it in one of his warehouses, but I don't know. I don't know if he moved it or what because I haven't seen it.
That sucks.
Yeah. It's cool. It's cool. I mean, I wouldn't have no room in here for it anyway, man. I got so much crap in here.
How many have you run? How many times have you game mastered or DM'd or whatever?
Different sessions?
Yeah, like different groups and shit.
No, man, I say about 20.
Okay, that's a lot, fool.
Well, I mean, like different sessions. not groups, different sessions.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
Groups, I don't know, 5 or 6 groups.
How many? And since what edition? What did you start with?
3.5.
3.5. Okay.
3.5. Okay. So I still like 3.5.
I do too. I have all the books, and I'm almost reluctant to get rid of them. But I told my people, I said, I'm going to learn 5th and see what.
I tell you what, I've never gone into 9th level spells.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Never.
We have, but that was the last campaign I ran. It ran for almost 2 years. That's the one where they actually finished the campaign. I've never had anybody finish a campaign ever. Most of the time they quit, or life happens or whatever, and it goes away. But this one they actually finished. My wife it was actually the first time she ever played Dungeons and Dragons, and she stayed. She liked it. She liked her character. She liked the group. You know what I'm saying? And she stayed till the end. She played all the way through.
Yeah, the big thing is if you're having fun, bro.
Oh yeah, man. And I think once my wife didn't join right away. It was actually a different group of people, and then some of them stayed and some of them left. And then the 3 that stayed, they were like, "Let's keep going." And I was like, "Well, we need another player." I asked my wife. She said, "Yeah, I'll sit in for a little bit, until you find somebody else." And she wound up staying. We did find somebody else, but she wound up staying. And I think when she joined, I hit like a stride. Because they were like, I think they were like 6th or 7th level when she joined, and I was making them go up levels real slow. I wasn't giving them a ton of experience points. I was doing it slow. You know what I mean? Like reward for action and adventure. Not for gold or not for treasure. None of that shit.
Right.
And I think when she joined, and I don't know if I don't want to, I'm not gonna say that it's because of her. Who knows? It might have been. But I feel like I hit a stride, and I felt like I was in the zone with knowing my players, right? Knowing what motivated the players, knowing where I wanted them to end the game. Like that's when I decided, okay, this is where the end of the game is going to be. And I felt like they were completely on point with where that was going. You know what I'm saying? Like everything that happened, they were like, okay, this is part of the game. This is what's supposed to happen. I had gotten rid of all the people that were like, no, that's bullshit, and I shouldn't have died, or whatever. I shouldn't have lost that treasure, whatever. All that stuff was already gone. We already filtered through all that crap. So, like I said, by the time she got there, it was kind of like, okay, we're in our stride right now as a group, and we were just, it was pretty good. We rolled through. Yeah, buddy, I hear you, Mo.
Wait, check this out. You see it?
Yeah. Is that magnet?
Yeah. So it's like an anime tree spell.
Oh, nice. I gotta start using more magnets for shit, dude. I use them for all my miniatures, but there's so much stuff you can use them for. Like when it comes to
I picked up a bag of these. Let me show you. I have them in somewhere. I just smoothed them out my way a little while ago. Here they go. These things. I don't know what the hell it is. It's a toy. I think they're called Connects or something. But yeah, every single one of these things has 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 magnets in it.
Yep.
And all I do is hit it with a hammer. I get the magnets out.
You know what's funny is my son, when he was little, we had a whole set of stuff like that. Like little triangles and squares they could build stuff with, and they were like that, little earth magnets. That's what's up. And I threw it out. We donated it.
This might be it.
I should have kept it.
Well, Zero, I got to cut out, buddy.
No worries, brother. Anything next Tuesday we'll hit it up again?
Huh?
I said next Tuesday we'll hit it up again, and let's talk to the guys on Discord and see if they want to jump in on this, if they can.
That's the thing, if they can. John might be able to next week. I don't know what's going on with him, though. Said he went to jail or something.
What?
That's what he said, yeah.
Criminal.
Yeah, he went to jail the other day. He said something about him and his mama. I don't know.
Yo, I got out of that life.
Yeah.
I'm not about that life no more. All right.
No, you know what sucks, dude? I sent that dragon. It was supposed to arrive yesterday, and he's not there.
That sucks.
Man, Dragon's probably
send
sitting
you-
there. Maybe somebody done sat on it.
You know what? Text me your address, bro. I'm gonna send you a miniature.
I'm good, dude. No. I'll
need-
trade one with you. We'll trade.
No.
one.
I want you to paint it, bro. No, fool. This is for me, fool.
Okay. All right.
You paint it for me. Send me something so I can paint for you.
All right. We'll do that.
All right, man.
I just don't know. You want the purple worm?
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, that'll work.
Because I got that and I kind of want one painted.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. Send it to me, bro. I'll paint it. Hey,
Right.
is it primer? Do you have a primer?
Yeah, it's already primed.
All right, bet money. Just send it to me, bro.
All right.
All right. If
All right,
anything,
y'all.
I will talk to you later. And for those of you on YouTube, if you're Mo, thank you for coming on, brother. I appreciate it. And spread the word, man. We're gonna try and do this every Tuesday. And I'm gonna try and figure out how to add phone calls and stuff like that, so we can have people call and harass us.
That's fine.
All right, brother.
I mean, I'm sure there's a way we can do it with Skype.
Yeah, there's got to be something, man.
Sure.
All right, man.
Anyway, catch y'all later.
Deuces. Thank you.